been ranting too much about politics lately just because I don't think there's a lot I can say about politics that's allowable in the Twitch terms of service. But I do want to talk a little bit about the Epstein files in the context of fucking Tumblr drama. So, it's 5 a.m. Eastern Time. I have work in a few hours. My hernia is bothering me. I am just blurg. But I want to be very clear about something. Well, I don't want to be very clear. I'm probably not going to be clear at all, but I want to talk about some stuff that's bugging me. Specifically, when I woke up, the first thing I see on Blue Sky is someone saying, "Oh my god, did you hear that I Suggest Estrogen came out as a pedophile?" And this just hits me really hard. Not like emotionally, but like in irritation, because I followed I Suggest Estrogen on Tumblr basically the entire time that she existed until she got flapped by staff for no reason. The reason is a hate campaign harassing her. But that's not the big thing. I mean, it is a big thing, but it's not the big thing, you know? Really? I'm gonna drop that up at 500,000. See if anyone buys it. So, but basically, she's never done any of the shit she's accused of. She gets accused of hating trans men. She's never hated trans men. She gets accused of violating consent, and it's just like, if you don't have the ability to comprehend what you're reading in an account called I Suggest Force Femme in 2025, then go back to second grade. I don't know. I think anyone with half a brain can understand that that is not a super serious thing, right? Like, that the entire point is being a trans woman is viewed generally as automatically negative, and so we get a lot of stupid discourse. All egg discourse is basically just being trans is not good, so we should discourage it, and you know, it's harm to tell someone they might be trans, because what if they aren't? And then you've put them through that suffering for nothing. And like, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid. I will tell my cis friends, "Hi, have you considered you might be trans?" because it's funny. It doesn't fucking hurt anyone. Okay? Hard-boiled eggs happen, but they don't happen because of people going, "Have you considered being trans?" It happens because of the forces of trans misogyny attacking a person over and over and over again. Duh. But the thing that irritates me is just the pattern. So, it's trans woman, has take, transphobe, sees something in that take that they can latch onto and use as an excuse to get that trans woman canceled. Transphobe gathers a group of people to brigade, uses sock puppet accounts, etc., etc. People who are concerned about thing that is not in original trans woman's post or take at all, but the transphobic person has accused them of, goes, "Oh, that's bad," joins in harassment. Before long, person not in this community who isn't really up to speed starts going, "Whoa, you hear such and such." And then trans woman's life is ruined forever. And this happens all the time. Like, I'm shocked it's never happened to me. The closest thing I ever got was a Kiwi Farms doxing that went hilariously bad because they doxed my mom's address and showed up and pissed off my transphobic brother, who was like gun on her ass, or like, "Fuck off, this is my mother." And it's just, hi, transphobe for transphobe violence, gotta love it. And I'm sure a couple times I've seen, actually I've seen like the beginnings of this a couple times in my stream and in my YouTube. Like, I have a reputation for being very aggressive with my moderation because I don't put up with this shit. And if you're here in good faith, cool, but if there's anything that I'm like, I don't buy this as good faith, I bop you. And I know I've gotten at least one innocent person with that, but the way that this whole process can just completely destroy a trans woman's life in like no time flat is just, it requires a certain level of vigilance. Hey, Muscle, give me your quest. I don't actually care what you have to say. I really, game, if you wanted me to care what these quests had to say, you wouldn't put flight behind them. I've said that before, I'm going to say it again. Flight is a thing that you need to get, so I end up having to do these when I don't give a damn about side story content. So you don't actually end up having me reading these, you have me do what I'm doing, because I need flight. And this is the stream, this is not a side story stream, this is a Barb rants and unlocks flight, because I keep not unlocking flight. Because I've kind of been waiting for being in the mood for side story stuff. Stream may also end somewhat abruptly. I've identified which sensors my GPU, and my GPU's been angry lately, so I'm keeping an eye on my GPU sensor. I have an alarm set. So, etc. But yeah. So the I suggest estrogen stuff has just been one false accusation after another until they stuck, is what's going on. And it irritates me. Makes me deeply depressed. The big thing that makes me annoyed is that the one that stuck is kind of in line with contemporary politics. So the summary, you know, first there's, oh my god, consent, because the account is I suggest force femme, which that didn't stick because it's like coming out at the time when one of the most popular pieces of trans media is the Sisters of Dorley, which pretty good. You should read it. If you haven't Sisters of Dorley, you should Sister of Dorley, because it's good. But it is a force femme story, and it gets really dark at times, because I think part of the reason why it's kind of popular and doesn't hit the like general force femme thing is it's got a take of kind of almost force femme is bad, but also the desire to be force femmed is understandable in the context of wanting to just have stuff happen and not have to go through all of the process of mind wrangling, and just, getting forced into it is a thing that a lot of people like the fantasy of. Like, to a certain extent, one could interpret me as having force-femmed my best friend, which is not true. But for a couple years, she'd been like, I want to, but I don't. And I, bullied her into starting estrogen, and then she was happy. And she will go, no, I made the decision myself, which she did. She could have said no anytime, and there's not, she could have said no anytime. That sounds so bad. But, she did. She made the decision herself. I just applied peer pressure because she was having trouble making the choice and getting committed because she's got, anxiety about making choices. And I'm like, I will make the choice for you. Do this now. And she's like, oh, fine. So it's not really force them. But, it comes from the same root of where, force femme interest arises. Making decisions is hard. The administrative bullshit is hard. You have to call the doctors. You have to orchestrate things. You have to schedule and do your injections. You have to schedule and do your blood monitoring. And it's just a lot. So it's understandable that people are like, I want the fantasy of getting whale too slow. I want the fantasy of UFO too slow. I want the fantasy of getting UFO too slow. I want the fantasy of, getting shoved in a bag and then separated from the world and coming back finished. A good fantasy. But the point of the account isn't the fantasy. The point of the account is we have stupid egg discourse, and if you're not familiar with stupid egg discourse, good on you. But the gist of it is, oh my god, it's so bad to be a trans woman. Suggesting it to someone is an insult. So if someone is having gender issues or is being gender nonconforming, you should literally never suggest that they should be a trans woman and let them figure it out themselves, which, that's fucking stupid. But yeah, that's where that is, and that begins the consent thing. And obviously the consent thing didn't actually frickin' hit anywhere because it's obviously dumb. They get to the second, thing that they grab, and that is the she hates trans men thing. Because, her account is I suggest force femme, and sometimes you're going to hit a trans guy with that if you're just responding to every conflict, any sort of gender crisis thing with I suggest force femme. But you're gonna hit a trans guy every now and then. It happens. And she's just sticks to the bit because she was sticking to the bit at first, and you can respect sticking to the bit. Some people got mad and started harassing her, and she just took an actual take. This is where her actual problems, I think, begin, because she took a take and she shared a take, and sharing takes is a terrible idea. I'm doing it right now. It's gonna go badly. Note to self, short that. That's the sort of short that gets 1 million dislikes and 1,000 views. So that's not the end of this. I didn't see the flight pop up. Right? I didn't get flight, did I? Yeah, no, I didn't get flight. Where's the missing quest? Oh my god, is it gonna be in Charlian? Oh no, I'm missing one by exploration. Okay. I thought I had all the explorations. Where is my bullshits button? My Aether Current lives. That's my companion. That's Patricia. Love Patricia. Did they move it into an actions and traits? I don't think they did. Seriously, where's my Aether Current thing? There it is, collection. Okay. Southwest. It's either over here or it's in there, so I'm gonna go here either way. But yeah, like, she never really hated a trans man. Her take was basically trans men end up experiencing the social status of men in comparison to trans women. It's very similar to, like, when black women say black men ain't shit, right? Like, ain't no one gonna say that black men don't get oppression or experience oppression. They're just gonna say, this is southeast. I'm concerned it might have actually been in there. No, I think it's, at this point, out here. But yeah, the words are... multitasking is hard. But yeah, the take is high. Trans women can be oppressed by trans men. Like, trans men can do trans misogyny, which is a take that people can do. And transphobes, and I'm not convinced that it's trans men. A couple trans men, yeah, probably specific ones, but like by and large, this seems to have been coming from the same crowd of cis women that harass people on Tumblr all the time. The TERF crowd. They were like, Zomgar. We can just fly in here. Neat. They were like, Zomgar, this person hates trans men. And that became the discourse that got carried outside of Tumblr communities into other spaces. And people started muttering, oh my gosh, she hates trans men. But it didn't stick. Because people going, OMG, she hates trans men is like kind of obviously irrelevant for trans women. Like, it's the thing, trans men are men, and in spaces where trans men are men and trans women are women and are seen appropriately, trans men will have power over trans women because misogyny is fucking real. whether we like it or not. Like, I don't think that's a fault of trans men, and I don't think any trans man who takes half a minute to think about anything will be, like, shocked. And anyone who's familiar with how trans misogyny works will know that in a situation where trans men and trans women are both denied gender, trans men will be reset back to a forced assignment of womanhood, where trans women will be shifted into a forced assignment of pervert. And that ends up giving everyone power over trans women in those circumstances. That doesn't mean that the trans men aren't being misgendered or facing an oppression in those circumstances. They absolutely are. It just is the details of how that works. And it's not like oppression Olympics. It's just how shit happen to do. Shit happen, shit do. And if you take the time to understand it, sometimes you can get really freaking bummed out. Woohoo! Wrapping the realm. Okay. I've achieved what I wanted to achieve here. Woohoo. Yeah, so that's like stage 1. Those are the 2 that didn't hit. And then stage 3 hit. Like, ironically. Yeah, so stage 3 hit with, I don't know. There was some diaper fetish shit, and I'm like, okay, that's not my my vibe. I'm not down to that, but cool, have fun. That's how I go on any of that. Right? How it should be. Don't yuck anyone's yum. But someone attempted to latch onto that, as they do, and it went, as one might expect, poorly. And by poorly, I mean she had a take. And it's a good take. Like, it is a take that I think I fundamentally agree with. I'm going to repeat it here. Not the way she put it originally, but the way I think she intended it and just didn't put it properly, because English ain't her first language. She's, like, I think French? So she's pretty good with English, but, like, it ain't her first language. I don't think she's super keened in on, like, discourse language here. Can you northeast from there? No, we're coming over this way. Next spot. I was kind of dreading doing Ultima Thule because I knew I'd have to hop around all this, and ironically, hunting for aether currents here without flight is... Oh, hi. No, that's a Vista. Hunting for aether currents here without flight is going to be so miserable. But yeah, she took a take. And the take is basically... Hi. What we're mad about isn't people being pedos, it's child sexual assault, and child sexual assault's bad. And, you know, a couple facts that people who look into this know are that most pedophiles never actually assault children, and most people who assault children are not pedophiles. Like, those are just things that people who take this seriously know. Because, you know, if you take this seriously, you want to affect it. You want to stop it. Like, mood. I want to affect it. I want to stop it. I was a CSA victim when I was younger, when I was a teenager. I will sometimes talk about the airmen. Like, that was exploitation. That was assault. That was not so cool. Dude. But you know, I don't think that the airman was a pedo. I don't. I think the airman was horny in his 30s and a trans feminine teenager was in a situation where he could take advantage of it. And he did. And I don't think that is... I don't think that makes him a pedophile. I think that just means that he did that. And it's worth like examining why he felt he could get away with it. Why he felt entitled to a 15-year-old trans feminine individual, like all that. But, you know, I think it's a good take, right? You know, don't really care whether... What is this? Are those caltrops or are those rocks? Those are... What are those? Plants. But yeah, like, I think it's a thing. Like, we don't actually, I think, care. I think if you're a sane, sensible person, you don't really care if someone's attracted to children. You care whether or not they're fucking children. You know, don't fuck kids. Easy. No nearby currents. Am I really saved on the currents here? Yes, it's just quests. But people, of course, attacking her, and she's not doing things great. And this is the one that's sticking. And it's sticking, I think, largely because of the Epstein situation. Which, ugh. So that's where the politics comes in. I didn't just walk. There's no sense in teleporting that little bit. So, the Epstein situation. What we are mad about in the Epstein situation, are we mad about pedophiles in government, or are we mad about child sexual exploitation? And I am including teenagers there. Like, that's a distinction without a difference as far as the exploitation. The reason why. I've said before, you have to stop and ask, why is a thing wrong? Like, if you're like, this is wrong, you should ask why. And if you can't explain why, you need to figure it out. And, like, why do you not fuck kids? Like, there's three potential bits. One is, oh, the biology, they're not physically at that position, which, weird and creepy, but okay. The next one is like, there's a magical purity marker, and when you hit a certain age, it disappears, which, what the hell are you talking about? And then there's consent. Hi. Children can't consent. Part of the reason why I suggest Force Femmes pedojacketing, because it is pedojacketing. She's not a pedo. She's been very clear the entire time. I am not attracted to children. This is like a take that I have. I have this other fetish that people confuse with that. That's not. That's not me. That's her. I do not have any fetishes that people... Do I? I have fetishes. You know what? Tell me in the comments below if you think my fetishes can be confused for being a pedophile. I'm not going to tell you what they are. I do not have a little brother, little sister fetish. I think people think I do because of the little brother, little sister energy thing. And that's just me going, oh my gosh, you're so cute. And that's like the same energy that your aunt does when she sees you and goes, oh my gosh, you're adorable, pinch cheek. That's the energy. That's not a fetish. That's just me being 40. But yeah, the take though, like the reason, like the real reason, the reason that matters is our entire society is assembled such that adults have power over children to such an extent that children cannot consent. There's like a biological aspect, but I don't like relying on that one because it disappears with a little bit after puberty. And like, my CSA happened past that point. So if that's the justification, then my assault becomes okay. And kind of alongside it, all the shit in the Epstein files becomes okay. We have to kill him. Such effective gameplay. And like, but yeah, so like, I'm not gonna limit it to that biological bit, which is real. Like, don't fuck a 5-year-old because you will fuck up a 5-year-old. I don't think I should have to say that. I don't think anyone should have to say that. But, you know, for clarity, because apparently you have to have max clarity in these situations. But yeah, she's just been making the right take. That what matters is don't fuck kids, not are you attracted. Like, I've had this discussion with my son before, because my son fell in with the anti-crowd. And I had to be like, hey, that's not a great position to be in. Here's why. And so basically, I'm not gonna be down on anyone for like looking at weird pedo adjacent art. I don't think that should be illegal. I don't think that you should really be given too much flack for that, just because it doesn't seem like it's worthwhile. Like it's the wrong take, you know? The take I'd have, the thing that you should be concerned about is whether or not you're actually hurting kids. And in the condition that like someone's attracted to children and looks at art, then cool. Don't fuck kids. Sure. Why not? I'm not paying attention to this either because, again, don't care. Not in a mood to care. Just in a mood to get flight finally, so that if I ever have to come back here, I can fly. But yeah, I'm not being very coherent, opening myself to all sorts of attacks, but just like, that's the thing, right? We don't want kids to get assaulted. We feel like that's bad, so we should not. And that's the one that stuck, because number one, that's always the one that sticks. There's a reason transphobes keep pedojacketing. It's because it's effective. But also, there's the added thing of the Epstein files right now. And so we have to go back. Always, if this is wrong, why is it wrong? So we're going to do the why is it wrong on the Epstein files. Because I suggest Force Femme is not a pedophile. And if you hear someone saying that she's a pedophile, she's not a pedophile. She's not really defending pedophiles. She's saying, hey, the problem is child sexual assault. Let's eliminate that. And not worry so much about what someone's attracted to. Which is, again, right take. So, Epstein files. Why are we mad? If we don't care what someone's attracted to, why are we mad? Who cares if someone's in the Epstein files? Because that's what the bad faith argument would be. Because it's all bad faith arguments. None of it's good, real stuff. So, but, you know, let's look at that, because why? Why is something wrong is a good thing? And we've already touched on it, right? It's the consent thing. And I think it tells us something about the people in power, right? Because I think every single person in power, if you go, is pedophilia good or bad? They go, pedophilia is wrong. But a lot of the people in power are like, why do we care about the Epstein files? They're going out of their way to defend associates of an international child sexual exploitation and trafficking ring, which in the time when people are trying to attack minorities for made up CSA and made up trafficking is just extra blur. But now let's delve into that. Why? Why do we care? And it's the thing. Like, it comes back to that. Like, I think a lot of the people who are kind of apathetic take the biology approach towards why pedophilia is wrong and see a 16-year-old as basically an adult. Which raises a lot of questions, because these people are, not enabling 16-year-olds to go, sign their own contracts. They're not allowing them to make their own decisions about trans healthcare, etc. So there's still like a must protect children vibe going on. So obviously it's not coherent, but in the interest of fairness, I want to try and be fair to people. That seems to be the take. I guess I need to use this. Thank you, game, for not letting me kill the thing I need to use the level checker on. That's nice of them. Nice quality of life. But yeah, it's consent. That if it's not clear, it's consent. The problem is consent. Right? These women did not consent. They were exploited, trafficked, and forced into sexual relations with powerful people who are in government. And the problem is there is governments that don't respect the consent of 16-year-olds aren't going to respect the consent of you. Like, that's the fundamental problem. That's why, ultimately, you must demand the full unredacted Epstein files be released. It's not, oh my gosh, that person's a pedo and pedos are terrible. It's, gotta address this. Cannot have people doing that level of violation of consent running government. But these people don't care because these people, the fucking Republicans defending this, don't care because they don't actually view consent and women's bodies as things to be defended. They view women as property to be exploited sexually, and their only concern with pedophilia is damage to sexual property. That's the only thing. This seems like I would be liking this quest. Search for my beloved's remains. I am a little bit sad I didn't care about this. Who is my beloved? Can robots feel? Are the robots feeling love? Cool. But yeah, this is it. It's just depressing because we're confusing and conflating things. and a trans woman is getting driven off the internet for it. For a funny joke account and a correct take. It's not great. I don't like it. Oh, we've got Ultima Thule. We've got flight. And with that, we have flight everywhere. Yes. All flight unlocked in Endwalker. So, ooh, my rant isn't even done. Where was I in my rant? I was wrapping towards a conclusion. If someone starts talking about I support force fem and being like, oh my god, did you hear that she came out as a pedophile? Be like, she didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? She had a very sane and normal take that is like fundamental to actually addressing CSA. Weirdos. And then, just in general, if you hear somebody accusing a trans woman of being a pedophile, I think there's been like one case in all of the times that I've heard that bullshit where it's turned out to be real. And even in that one case, like, it was a who fucking cares, let the cops handle it sort of situation. I'm not even going to mention the person because, like, goodness gracious, there's like a 40-hour documentary about her that it's like, that's excessive. You don't need to do that shit. What is wrong with you? Just, I don't know. There are two conclusions, or three conclusions. One, I suggest force fem is not a pedophile, and don't fucking come at me, bro. That just don't spread lies. Don't believe lies. It's an ongoing harassment campaign that's existed from the beginning because some people didn't like the bit of her account. Because people don't like hearing that being a woman is a good thing. So they make up, any reason they can to attack someone. Now that's conclusion one. Conclusion two. What was conclusion two? Conclusion two. Basically never believe when someone accuses a trans woman of being a pedophile. It's basically never real. Like, if so, just in general, if someone's accusing a trans woman of something heinous, double check, because it's basically never real, and you don't want to be involved in that shit. And then conclusion three. Just call your representatives and demand the release of the full unredacted Epstein files, because it doesn't matter if someone's a pedophile. It matters if they're fucking children. And we have the entire... we have large swaths of the government bending over backwards in an attempt to defend people who are... Hi, Seika. Who are, defending people who were involved in a known case of sexually trafficking teenagers. So, instead of spreading lies about a trans woman who runs a gag, ran a gag account on Tumblr. Her Tumblr account got fucking nuked for false reports. So, you know, doesn't even fucking exist anymore. So instead of spreading lies about a Tumblr account, just focus on actual, real problems. Hi, Seika. Rant is done, and unlocking flight in Endwalker is done. I still have a couple hours until work. It only took me like an hour to rant about that stuff. Not even 46 minutes. 46 minutes of ranting about false accusations of pedophilia against a Tumblr mute. Actually, I don't even think that it's a mutual. I don't think I suggest estrogen followed me back ever. I know that she's mutuals with one of my mutuals. She's like a mutual-in-law. I don't think she ever actually followed me back. But still, no, she's not a pedo. Don't believe that bullshit. What am I going to do? Seika, you still have Endwalker to catch up on? Maybe we can do some Endwalker catch-up. I can help you with Endwalker. I can fly to places. Oh. I think it took us a few weeks to do that, but that's like reading through everything. There's some fun. It's fun. I don't want to spoil it. It's fun. There's some exciting stuff. I'm so sad that Zero is straight. Sorry, could I have come up here? Does this go up? That goes up. Does it go down? I think it does. Nope, no it doesn't. I was fooled. How down can I go? It's the light of hope. I'm coming. Actually, I think I should probably not, because this is like... I should not be hanging around here. This is like the place that has the copyright music. Oh. There we go. Ha 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 ha. Perfect. I've broken it. Perfect. Okay. Let's get out of there. My GPU hates it. I need to be nicer to my GPU. I should also Tuliolol. You missed it, Silvari. I ranted for an hour about the bullshit accusations against I Suggest Force Femme. Because when I got up this morning, the first thing I saw in Blue Sky was freaking Kate Tight Pussy of all people being like, oh my gosh, did you hear I Suggest Force Femme came up? Did you hear that I Suggest Force Femme came out as a pedophile? And it's like, no, she didn't. She's been accused of it after having the very, very correct take that it doesn't really matter if someone's a pedophile. It matters that they're not, whether or not they're fucking kids. And let's be concerned about people who are doing CSA, because most people who do CSA aren't pedophiles, and most pedophiles don't do CSA, which is just like facts that are known. But people have always been after I Suggest Force Femme, and they're continuing to just like, even after getting I Suggest Force Femme nuked and forcing her to like go back, just stop her bits, they're still fucking coming at her. So yeah, I just ranted about that and the Epstein files for like an hour because I'm so tired of pedojacketing working. I am so fucking sick and tired of pedojacketing working. Like, there's real problems in the world. Also, yes, it is way too early. I should not be streaming this early. It's like 6 a.m. I was mad. I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was like, I'm not falling back asleep, and I'm mad. So after like an hour of laying there going, grr, I'm like, I can just rant at the internet about it. And then make a couple shorts out of it. And have people be mad at me. Which, I don't know, when people get mad at me at YouTube, it doesn't really bother me, because it's like, hey, are you the sort of person who watches flat Earth videos? I bet you're the sort of person who watches flat Earth videos. Let me remove your comment. Bye. Thank you for the boost in the algorithm. YouTube VOD watchers, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Like, seriously. As far as I can tell, the algorithm favors watch time, followed by comments, followed by subscriptions. Excuse me, they like watch time, subscription, comments, and then likes. Like, I think that's like the pattern, at least on shorts. I don't get enough views on my VODs to make good comments and good conclusions. Yeah. And ring that bell to learn when I post. But also, if you're watching on YouTube, you should come to Twitch. That's where the things are live. Normally at 2 p.m. on Saturdays and like 6 p.m. on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, as hernia and work exhaustion exists. But also, randomly, at 5 a.m. on a Monday morning. Exactly. What is a schedule? Schedules are impositions of capitalist society, and they need to be destroyed. I finally unlocked flying. Although, I'm feeling bad now about some of the story skips, because like, the bits and pieces of that robot were my beloved. What is my beloved? What was that whole thing about? I don't know. I didn't really pay attention because I was just like, ugh, give me flying. Can I look? Is it like in the inn? Is that side story in the inn? And then I should go to Tuliolala and reset my home thing. But first, Ojika. We're going to be not visiting the inn room here for a while. Okay, where is Unending Journey? No. Not you. Unending journey. Other quests. Side quests. Ultima Thule side quests. No cutscenes to display. Okay, so it's just gone. Interesting. Interesting. We could rewatch those. But you can't actually you can't actually revisit the thing. Okay. Well, I guess we'll never learn what My Beloved was about. That's not true. I can go to the wiki and just read the dialogue. I'll do that myself. And you can play the game and not skip that story. Yeah. I'm gonna check my sensors. Yeah. It is my GPU that seems to be running hottest. So yesterday after my, you will not watch it because I was not at the peak of my behaviors or gameplay EU5 stream, I ended up playing Bank of Bardi a little. And it is certainly a gameplay loop. I don't think I will ever stream it, and I don't know that it's interesting enough for me to say you should play it, but it is certainly a loop. But what I did notice when I was playing Bank of Bardi is that what I didn't notice when I was playing as Bank of Bardi is that my GPU, if I speed 5 EU5, starts to peak in heat, and it gets to the point where it crashes my entire computer. And if you've never had a GPU crash, those are the spooky ones. That's the one where your screen starts sputtering static, and you're like, oh, that's bad. So I want to be niceys to my GPU. I'm probably not going to continue the nights on EU5. I might not play any EU5 for a while. It depends. I really want to play more EU5. Oh, that's right. I should talk to Yoshi P. Unlock all these extremes. So we got Barbie. Got Ruby. I don't care about these cutscenes. I'm just not. I don't care about the cutscenes where I tell Yoshi P about my adventure. Talk about Goldie here. And we'll talk about Moose Moose. Moose Moose. Yay! We can now do the fractured asshole extreme. Wait, what? That's not what that is called. See, you just have to have fun with things. Do a little silly. Yeah. So yeah, from a stream update, we're probably not going to continue the nights for a while. I may decide to, but I feel like I should be nicer to my computer, and I don't think my computer can quite handle EU5 past 1400. And we're past 1400. So I think need to be nice. And if I do EU5, it'll be short bits. But I don't think EU5 is a good game for short bits. I think EU5 is a game for a Sunday afternoon where you have like 9 hours to stream. It's like a 9-10 hour stream game. So yeah, I don't know that it's going to be a thing I do a lot of in the future, which is unfortunate because it's very good and I like it. And if you can afford it and you can computer it, you should EU5. It's good. If your computer can EU5. Hack. The quality professional audio you come here for. Hacking phlegm into a gamer headset. Shallow Moor, what do you do? So many things. There's so many side quests we haven't done that are blue quests. Well, what was I down here for? I was right. I was going to go to Tuliolal. Because if I go to Tuliolal, then I think we can go from this dude. Oh, or this dude. What are these dudes? It's going to be you. Actually, yeah, Tuliolal. And now I can home point Tuliolal and officially be in Dawn Trail. I haven't unlocked any of the places yet, but frickin', oh my gosh, Seika, spoilers. It's not the sort of thing I would consider like spoilers. I know some people get serious about this, but like, there's no story here. If you didn't know that you're going to the New World in Dawn Trail, I'm sorry. Watch the trailer. I think the only like potential spoiler is we have slow jazz. We have smooth jazz. This is Jazz Town. Which I like. I like Jazz Town. Jazz Town Fantasy Mexico. Have your vacay. Can I get tacos at that place where the tacos happened? There. Let me buy tacos at the taco shop. If I can't buy tacos at the taco shop, it's a 0 out of 5 expansion. Yes, you can get me an order of your famous tacos. Zero out of 10, literally unplayable, worst game ever. Oh my gosh. You can't buy tacos from the taco place. Chashipya. Shepya, this is a tragedy. Yeah. I suppose I should make breakfast and prepare for work. Where? There's our quests. We need to decide Hanu or Pelu for next week. I have a poll going in my Discord. And there's nothing, I think, stopping random people from going in and voting. So if you have an opinion on which way we go, which way, Eastern Woman, because, you know, we're from Eorzea, which is east of the New World. Look at us. Look at the four of us. Aren't we just the most adorable early wave of colonialism? Why are you looking at me like that, Kryle? Oh my god. She knows. She knows about Tataru and Hancock. And how... No. Go cry in a corner. With weird animation clipping. Actually, I know what I should do. I should try to do dailies. I want stuff that you get from society quests. So I should try... I guess... to do these allied society stuff. There we go. Probably won't be online when I do it, but... Is this where allied society stuff is? I don't see any allied society shit here. Or it's the other place, isn't it? There it is. That's probably what I'm looking for. I think the fastest way to get here would actually be to go to Yulmore, take the airship, and then go up. That might actually be faster than going to Tomra and flying. Although you do move slowly vertically, so maybe not. I'd have to try. And I can't be bothered to do shit. Wow. Okay. Tell me a bit about your repeating quests, dwarf friend. Machine parts, okay. So we go to the okay, so we're going back to the copied factory. Okay. Is this the quests that give us... I don't know that this is actually like anything. There's a dance I want. And the dance involves the dwarves. So I'm here looking for dwarf stuff. And I guess now we're looking for salvage at the far end of the copied factory. This was such a fun alliance raid. It's a pity that I just can't get into Nier Automata. Like, it seems like a game I would like. I can't get good. So I don't have fun. I guess get frustrated and don't have fun. Which is fine. You don't have... Not every game's for everyone, but gosh, that seems like in all ways but gameplay, that game is a barb game. Ruined post-industrial landscapes, robots, weird pseudo-philosophy, I'm told. That's just the barb game. But then it's too hard for me. So I don't play it. I do like that they came up with with reasons for us to come back through these spaces, though. Like, that's neat. I wish we had more like party stuff going on. I wish a lot of things. But I don't know, I appreciate coming back in here. And I appreciate... I appreciate all the post-Endwalker stuff, which I know Seika's going through now, so I won't say anything about, but I appreciate a lot of it. I just wish I had more... What's the word I'm looking for? I wish that you could take a light party into those. That's basically it. It's the same thing I've always said. Like, I wish that every solo instance could auto-scale to a light party. This is a game I play with friends most of the time, and I like playing with friends. And it's nice to be able to solo on occasion. Like right now, this sort of stuff, but... when I'm in the MSQ and I'm doing that with friends and I hit a point and it's like, hi, abandon your party. Like, I don't know. I think if you have a light party, you should be allowed to do it. I think it should scale. I know enough about software to know that that would probably be a massive pain in the ass. Probably. That sounds like a very Seika thing to do. Gear sets. Pay attention to gear sets. I think they added them since you last stopped playing. You'll want a lot of crystals, but if you can take stuff out of your armory and put it back in as a gear set, I'll show in a moment when I've turned this in. That saves so much space. And then you don't have to like pick and choose as much and desynth as much. News to share, chief thing. Now let's help out Seika show the glamour set thing. I'm losing my interest in continuing this right now just because it's 6 a.m. I have work coming and I don't want to get committed into anything. We'll go back to the forward cabins. Oh my gosh, spoilers for the in down trail that you will get to shortly. But yeah. Where's my dresser? We have outfits. Like this. Look. Outfits. You can have whole outfits and that shoves everything in a single slot. And like, you can see things here, but like this is an outfit glamour ready item. So if you have this and the Oasis Sourel, you can put both these items in as one thing. And then it will become like this, and it's great. This ruffled shirt here that I have is a whole set of stuff associated with it. So I should probably be focusing on grabbing these, except I don't actually think I care about any of those. But yeah, so if you see the symbol on something, see if you can do the sorting. In this case, I like nuked everything, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I have my Animos hat somewhere. No, I nuked my Animos hat because I don't like it as much as the Borskin hat. I did not know about this until after I'd cleaned out my full glamour dresser, which is not armory chest. My armory chest was also in a bad shape, but my glamour dresser got full. I didn't know, so I just was pulling things out and being like, decent, and then I learned about that and had regrets. So, glamour dresser-wise, remember outfits. But that also reminds me I should probably just make sure that my armory chest is clean. I think it mostly is. I do a pretty good job of keeping my armory chest nice and clean. That's fair. I like hoarding glamours. And I like hoarding glamours, so that's a thing, I guess. Yeah, that's true. I like hoarding glamours, especially with like the upcoming patch change in a couple weeks where we'll be able to wear everything across. That'll be cool. But for this, we also have a necklace. I don't care much about necklaces, so we'll just open the necklace. Wow. So that is market prohibited. So that will get decent. Yeah, I remember that about you. You had the canon outfit. I like to change glams up a lot. I became a bit of a glam addict. It's why I'm always running low on money, because I am always just buying things going, ooh, that looks cute. It's because I can't do that IRL because of nothing being in my size and the disability. Yep. And you're going to have some fun choice on expansion, I think, for the Dawn Trail. It's vacation adventure time. I should do some inventory management. This is such excite. I love the music in Tuliolal. I forgot to finish your thing off. And you sold stuff too. Nice. Give me your money. Finish your adventure. Gain no experience because you're capped out because I don't want to play Dragoon. How are these Star Quartz Croakers going? I'll join the 15k group, the 15k club. This doesn't need to move quickly. Strength Dissolvent. This is going to be underpriced as shit. No, cut purse. Sure. We'll join you in the 1,000 gold area. This rutilated quartz. Yeah. That's a $500 product. I should go put the dyes that I stole from the FC back. Let's go back to Limsa. It's actually not bad to go from Limsa to the New World. Yawn, 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 yawn. Waking up at 4 a.m. Not wise. Oh. There you go, Halabali. You can be happy and assured that I didn't steal everything. Halabali was just like, don't sell it. And I'm like, okay. Gosh. I wanted to sell it. Like, dyes sell so much. Part of the reason I'm having money issues is I haven't been making dyes. Because, I don't know, my hernia has been getting worse, so I don't have as much time to just putz about. Which is frustrating. Like, hi. I would like to do things. May I? No. Extreme excruciating pain. Okay. Can I fix the excruciating pain? No. Start Ozempic. Okay. Insurance, will you pay for Ozempic? No. Suffer. Okay. Work, is there any way that you can help make insurance pay for the Ozempic that I need to lose the weight, to get the surgery, to not suffer all the time, and then also do more work? Yeah, sure. Call this number. Yeah. Just submit the following. Okay. Submit the following. Text message. Your claim has been denied. You told me to submit that shit. Fucking con artists, scam artists, thieves. Like, I understand that you don't want to pay for it, but I don't want to pay for it either. I don't want to even fucking take it. I want the surgeon to fix my fucking hernia. Like, it should not be this hard to fix something that every single person who meets me is like, oh shit, that needs to get fixed right away. It's like, yeah. Everyone agrees except the person whose job it is to fix it. Then they're like, fatties deserve to die. Slowly and in excruciating pain. Well, fuck you, surgeons at Johns Hopkins, Bayview, Mercy Medical, MedStar. What are the other places that I've called? The fucker in New York City who even wrote a whole paper about how there's actually no reason to deny hernia repair surgery in obese patients because they don't actually have any increased risk of complications over thin people. You, who I wrote to and called explicitly, and I'm like, I will go out of my way and fly to New York City for you to fix this. Just set me up. No. Well, fuck you too, person. I don't even fucking remember his name. Well, just in case you think I just complain on the internet, this is an ongoing process that eats so much time for just new levels of people saying, die fatty. And it's like, goodness gracious. I didn't even really eat fatty foods until my girlfriend moved in, and she's like, you need to eat more protein. Like, I ate not so much protein. I ate veggies and sushi. Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say. And there's nothing else to do. Which I think is the sign that it's time to end the stream and start getting ready for work. Not really looking forward to work today. Not for work reasons, just because, blarg, I'm tired. Looks like the only person here is Seika. Savaria laughed. Well, Seika, where do you want to go? Who do you want me to send you off to? Our choices are Bob Ross and a Russian playing Sekiro. I kind of want to go to the Russian. Oh no, that's right. The Russian has a 10 viewer raid limit, so we can't. Well, sucks to be us. Farewell.